but to the children, it was a creeping poison that stole their will to resist. Mira joined him some nights, her hands steady as she held a child's trembling jaw open, her face blank, her eyes hollow, as if she'd locked her heart away to survive her own complicity. She never spoke, only moved with a mechanical grace, her fingers brushing the children's skin like a ghost's touch, leaving them colder than before. The bonds between the children, once fragile lifelines of whispered names and shared glances, began to crumble under this silent torment. Fear turned them inward, made them flinch from each other's eyes, suspecting betrayal in every quiet sob. Number 12, the girl who clung to memories of a sunlit street, felt her hope flicker as a boy beside her. Number 7 hissed that she was selfish for dreaming, his voice sharp with desperation, his trust broken by nights of Rakesh's whispers that pitted them against one another. Rakesh's mind was a fortress of certainty, his rituals a sacred script he followed without doubt, believing each act of pain balanced an unseen scale, his purpose tied to a force he felt in the rain, in the dark, in the children's fading light. Downstairs, the Yadav sons slept soundly, unaware of their parents' midnight work, while Mira's lullabies grew rarer, replaced by a silence that weighed heavier than her songs. The city beyond the house stirred faintly, a washerwoman pausing as she passed the Yadav gate, her ears catching a sound like a choked gasp, quickly swallowed by the storm. The attic's secrets were a poison spreading slowly, seeping into the cracks of the house and the minds of those trapped within, eroding what little strength remained as the night stretched on, endless and unforgiving. The Yadav house loomed under a sky heavy with unending rain, its walls echoing with sounds that blended into the storm. But one afternoon, a distant relative named Arjun arrived unannounced, his knock sharp against the door as Mira opened it with a forced smile, her hands wiping flour from an apron as she invited him in for tea. Arjun, a merchant from a nearby village, sat in the main room, his eyes wandering the familiar space, but something nagged at him, a faint, metallic scent that hung in the air like rust after rain, not strong but persistent, refusing to fade even as Mira poured hot chai and spoke of family news in a voice too even, too practiced. He shifted in his seat, glancing at the ceiling when a soft thump sounded from above, dismissed by Mira as the boys playing, though her sons were outside in the mud, their laughter distant. Arjun felt a chill, an unease that settled in his gut like bad food, his mind brushing against the wrongness but pulling back, unwilling to name it as he sipped his tea and asked after Rakesh, who was upstairs, always upstairs these days. In the attic, Rakesh's experiments had turned bolder, his rituals evolving into something more intimate, more invasive, using simple household items to etch permanent scars into the children's minds. He took a common spoon, heated just enough over the oil lamp to glow faintly, and pressed it against a child's palm, not to burn, but to hold there until the heat seeped deep, forcing them to count backward from 100, while